is going on? It is 12:30 on Friday, which means it's time for this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Chrismo, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every single Friday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and what we're talking about today are the differences between a sales associate and a broker license. So sales associate versus a broker, where is it that you begin? What are the benefits of getting one versus the other? What is the sequence of events that are necessary to get your real estate license? And then are these real estate licenses here, the sales associate or the broker? So that's what we're going to be answering today. Hopefully any questions it is that you have on the sales associate versus the broker, what's required, what are the benefits, the pros, cons, or anything else it is that you guys have questions about, let us know on the Facebook live feed. We're right now live on Facebook, YouTube, as well as our website with the Success Center. So let us know what questions it is that you have. My name is John Chrismo. Super excited to bring today's show to you. You're watching State of Real Estate.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. And welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Chrismo. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every single Friday, as well as Wednesdays for Ask the Instructor. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, hit that little bell icon so whenever it is that we go live or have new content, you get notifications. If you're on our website, just go and drop your email in on the website, and we'll email you out notifications for that as well. Ultimately, why we do these shows are to help you achieve your dream real estate career. At the Tampa School of Real Estate, we're not here just to get you to pass a course or pass an exam or just get a license. We're here to help you make use of that license, to build a better future for yourself, for your family, and for really everyone around you. And if you have those grander visions of what it is that you'd like to do with your real estate empire, that might involve getting a real estate broker license. However, we're going to be talking about some things today where you don't necessarily need to become a broker to take advantage of some of the benefits that you used to have to be a broker to take advantage of. Now, there are still some benefits to getting a broker license versus just being a sales associate. However, a lot of different things it is we're going to be talking about today. So let's dive right into it. I want to start off with this first little slide here. Just some basic things we were jotting down of, okay, well, sales associate or broker, if we're going to really kind of narrow this down to what's the least amount of information that we can mention about this to help you understand. And the first thing I want to point out specifically is that you're starting with a sales associate license. So that's your starting point. If you've never had a real estate license before, you cannot get a real estate license until you get a first sales associate license, and then once you've been active for 2 years, then you could become a broker. But if you don't yet have 2 years of experience, you can't get a broker license in Florida. Now, anyone that might be tuning in from outside of Florida that might have had a real estate license somewhere else, whether that is a sales associate license, a broker license, or really any type of real estate license, if that is the case and you've already got a real estate license in another state, you could actually get a real estate license as a broker here in Florida directly, as long as you have 2 years of experience. Now, the catch with this, the caveat is within the last 5 years. And what that active experience, as far as the law is written now, and the law has ebbed and flowed over the years depending on, I guess, the Florida Real Estate Commission's interpretation of the demand for brokers in Florida. But as it's been, and it's been this way for quite a few years now, you just need to be active with a broker for 2 years. Believe it or not, you actually do not even have to sell anything to be able to get a broker license. Now, keeping your real estate license active for 2 years, it's going to cost you some money. And if you don't make any money, well, that's maybe you've got some plan it is that you're working on, but the idea with your real estate license is you don't have to wait to become a broker to make a lot of money. There's a lot of real estate agents that start off as a sales associate, remain as a sales associate, make a ton of money as a sales associate, and don't want to become a broker. You could even have a real estate team, and there's all kinds of ways to almost play broker without being a broker, but there are some specific rules and laws that kind of keep everything in check still, even if you're just an associate at a broker. And one other thing as well, because even if you don't plan on becoming a broker yourself, maybe you want to just remain as a broker associate. So what a broker associate is somebody who has the capability, knowledge, experience, and the actual license to be a broker, but they're not a broker, they're an associate of another broker. So you could be a broker, or you could be a broker associate. Both brokers and broker associates would have a broker license. However, it's only a broker who is the one that's actually in charge of the organization. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the sales associate and how this fits into that picture there. Now let's say you do get your broker license. With a broker license, you're allowed to work 100% independently. You don't need to register with anybody. You can do your own services as a broker. You could perform your own real estate services. That's really the big thing about being a broker, is you're able to perform your own real estate services. Whereas as a sales associate, you are not able to perform your own real estate services. Even though you have a real estate license, you might have just got it. Because again, remember, the sales associate license, that's your starting license. That's the initial real estate license that you get in Florida. And it's a very powerful license because it works for pretty much any type of real estate, commercial, agricultural, industrial, residential, of course, but also businesses. So it works for pretty much any real estate or businesses, but you cannot perform those services independently. You cannot perform real estate services. You could perform your broker's real estate services, but you're not able to perform real estate services unless you are a broker. So I know that kind of sounds a little confusing, especially when I hear myself saying that out loud. So what does it look like if you just got your real estate license? You are required to register with a real estate broker. So you've got to register with a real estate broker, and basically doing that, when registering with a real estate broker, or another option you have is a developer. So you could be with a developer, that's like a home builder, maybe a property management company is sometimes considered a developer, or you could be with a broker. And if you're with a real estate broker, you're able to broker any deals between multiple people. You don't have to be the buyer, you don't have to be the seller. Whereas with a developer, you're representing just the developer. So they both give a lot of opportunities. These are going to be more of your salaried types of positions typically, whereas these, you're usually an independent contractor, a little bit more like you're starting your own business when you're registered with a real estate broker. So what does that look like? Let's focus on this one, is if you're going to be a real estate broker. With a real estate broker, I should say. You're starting out again as a sales associate. And as a sales associate, you start with that. You take your pre-licensing course. So we teach that course. If you guys are just tuning into this and you don't have a real estate license yet, you're wondering what it takes to get a real estate license, that's the sales associate pre-licensing course. It's pre-licensing because you take it before you get your real estate license. And if you have questions about any of this, call that phone number below, 813-333-2676. Again, it's 813-333-2676. It's on the screen right there. We've advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that they can. And we've also got a lot of great info on our website. Specifically, licensefl.com is our step-by-step licensing guide. So definitely make sure you check that out after the show today. Especially if you have any more in-depth questions, you're trying to figure out how this could work for you or how you can transition. That's literally what we do here. So call us up and let us help you figure out those next steps. But essentially, you start with that sales associate license. When you initially receive it, your license is called inactive. Now, inactive, if we jump over here, you have to be active if you want to become a broker. So you got to be active for 2 years if you want to be able to become a broker. And when you first get your sales associate license, you're not active. You're starting with a sales associate license. You're going to register again either with a home builder, some sort of developer, or what most agents do, they register with a broker. And so, again, the big difference is that you're performing services on behalf of the broker. Everything that you're doing is on behalf of the brokerage when you're a sales associate. Again, because you're not allowed to do anything independently. You could have your own home office, but you can't technically call it your real estate office officially. If you kind of get the idea of what it is that I'm saying, only a broker is actually allowed to have an office. And specifically, if you are a broker actually opening an office, that office must have a physical office location. So even these cloud real estate brokerages you see popping up left and right, those still have to have an actual physical office location, even if it is just like a broom closet somewhere. There's a few requirements, but it could basically be a very small room, could be your office, and then that's really the only requirement of the law. Now, let's say you get your real estate license and you're doing well as a sales associate. Maybe you're making $100,000, $250,000, $500,000. I've seen agents making $1 million a year just as sales associates. Now that's gross commission income, so there are expenses and whatnot that factor into that, but there's a lot of money being made by sales associates. It's up to you. This is really your business. So going back to this whole thing about registering with a broker. So even though you're registered with a broker, and again, we're going to focus on that one, you're pretty much still a business within a business. So whereas a broker, you are the business. And because you are the business, you could actually use what's called a trade name. So, for example, as a realtor, as a sales associate, or even as a broker associate, I could only go by John Carissimo. Or maybe I have some sort of nickname or some sort of team name, but even if I'm using team names, there's actually some new restrictions that have came out recently from the Florida Real Estate Commission of what words you're actually allowed to use in your team name so it's not confused to be a brokerage. One of those words is brokerage. Another of those words is actually realty. There's actually quite a few words that you're not allowed to use that you might want to use in naming a team, and that's because the Florida Real Estate Commission does not want to confuse agents who are completely content and happy being a business within a business and the support structure that their brokerage offers. But again, they want to make sure that the public isn't deceived into thinking that this sales associate is their own separate thing, because they're really not. Again, they're a business within a business, and the overseeing, supervising brokerage needs to be listed in all advertisements. And again, even if it is, there's a bunch of different rules if you're doing a team, but the point is, it is possible to kind of have some of this. Because a big reason why a lot of people get a broker license is because they want to open their own office. They want to start their own brokerage. They want to pay it forward and help sales associates start their real estate careers or take their business to the next levels. They want to have other people helping them build something bigger than themselves. And again, you could do that with a real estate team, but you have a lot more power to do something like that as a real estate broker. You have a lot more flexibility because you are the business rather than being a business within a business. And being the business within a business, not only are the laws that we have to follow, but there are going to be certain rules of how the brokerage operates and what the compensation structures are and how commission splits work. Is it 100% where you're paying some sort of fees, or is it where there's a commission split? All these things vary. But again, there's a lot more overhead that you have as a sales associate out of, again, maybe that's a commission split, a fee or something like that, but that's because all of this is solved for you. Whereas as a broker, you can go get a broker license, and that it's relatively cheap to get a broker license. I mean, the course is a few $100s, then another application, another set of fingerprints, another exam. But overall, that's basically all you need to be a broker, and then you just need some sort of office space that you could use as your office, and you could register that as a brokerage, and now all of a sudden you're a broker. But what are the things that your brokerage provides other than just being a broker? Because if your brokerage has some sort of cost, some sort of expense, whether that's some sort of fee or commission split or whatever the case may be, what is it that the brokerage is providing? Yes, the office is a legal requirement, but again, with a lot of the cloud brokerages now, there's cloud brokerages where, yes, there is technically an office for legal purposes, but not an office that any of the agents really actually go to. And so maybe the office isn't the thing that the brokerage really is providing. You know, rewind back 20, 30 years, the office was a major thing. That was a major requirement. Now, I don't know, maybe technology is more important. Maybe leads are more important. Maybe just whatever it takes to make more money is more important than office space. So that's where, as you're deciding, because one of the things that's actually really neat, so even though we call this a career and that you're starting your career, real estate isn't so much a career as it is really a business. Even if you're working at a developer where there is some sort of salary or any sort of position where there's a salary plus commission, whenever you have some sort of performance-based pay, I would really think of that like a business, especially if that's unlimited performance-based pay, and that's what real estate provides. Sales associate or broker, there's no limit on how much money it is that you could make, and it's performance-based. Sales associate or broker, pretty much never is someone going to pay you except for selling or helping people buy real estate or doing some sort of service, providing some sort of value. It's not just, again, simply a license that you get and money just starts flowing in. I mean, obviously not when I say it out loud like that. But again, what is it that you get this license and now what do you do to actually make money with it? You've got to, number one, get the license. Number two, register with a real estate broker. And then number three, treat this like a business. Even if you have no aspirations of becoming a broker or starting your own brokerage or anything like that, you still got a business within your real estate brokerage business. So we're going to take a quick commercial break here, but when we come back, we're going to sum up a little bit more about the sales associate versus broker. I'm going to check in on the Facebook, see if there's any questions in there we could answer for you guys. So stick with us. My name is John Chrismo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
Have you seen what's going on in Tampa?
If you're looking to get in on the real estate action that's going on in Tampa right now, we're who you need to talk to. We can help you get your real estate license, start your real estate career. We're here to assist you for the life of your real estate career. Give us a call. Phone number is 813-928-0106 or check us out online at tampaschool.com.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.
Have you seen what's going on in Tampa?
If you're looking to
Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Chrisman. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. Just a couple of questions coming in over on the Facebook. I want to go ahead and get answered for you. Some really good ones, actually. I was reading through them on the break. So Sherry's got the question, what would it benefit you to get your broker's license and stay with someone else? Would it benefit you to get your... Would it benefit you maybe to get your broker's license and stay with someone else? Yeah, so maybe, I think that's maybe what you're asking there. Hopefully you could clarify for me, is you're asking about maybe being a broker associate, and would that provide benefit? And the answer is absolutely. There's a lot of people that come to us that they initially everyone starts out as a broker associate. No one gets their broker license and automatically is a broker, if you kind of get what I'm saying. Unless maybe your license is active. Well, but even if it's inactive, it's still going to be a broker associate until you file the paperwork to be the broker of a brokerage. If you're already registered with a brokerage, your sales associate license simply transitions to a broker associate license. So again, everybody starts out as a broker associate. But then what are the benefits of being a broker associate? So let's talk about that. So again, a broker associate, the word associate gets involved when you associate with another broker. So when you associate with another broker, then you're a broker associate. And this is where the starting point of being a broker. You file for a brokerage to become a broker. A brokerage company, basically, to become a broker. But then what are the benefits of doing this? So number one is going to be the knowledge. And that's really why I recommend, even if you have no intention of ever becoming a real estate broker, why I would still recommend you get a broker license, is because of the additional knowledge it is that you'll gain becoming a real estate broker or having a broker license. And then the other side of this is the clout. Now, what is clout? It's respect. Let's put that up there because that's probably a term people are more familiar with as opposed to clout. So clout and respect, people, and I don't just mean clients, because it does sound a little bit more, powerful, the word broker, as opposed to sales associate. Because sales associate does make it sound more like you're a salesperson, whereas even a broker associate, well, that's somebody who brokers real estate. Not someone who sells real estate, but somebody who brokers it. So it is a little bit, elevated idea. But again, that's just typically how it reads by a typical client. But then the other part of this is when you're working with other associates, when you're working with sales associates. So most people don't have a broker license. Most licensees are going to be sales associates, not broker associates. The broker associates are much fewer, and so somebody who is a broker associate, they are literally basically certified to be more knowledgeable. And we should really look up the statistic of exactly what percentage of people are brokers versus just sales associates, because it's a very small percentage. If I were to guess, I'd probably say maybe not even 5%. It's a very small percentage of people with a real estate license are actually holding broker licenses. So it is an elite group, and it's funny that I say that, because the requirements to get a broker license are not that much more significant than a sales associate license. Number one, yes, absolutely, you have at least 2 years of experience. Whether that's in Florida or out of Florida, you have to have an active real estate license for at least 2 years in the last 5 years. So you're guaranteed to be more experienced than maybe at least some sales associates, because some sales associates might have just gotten their real estate license. And then number two, if you ever want to start a brokerage, you're ready to roll. And that is something that helps give a lot of agents some extra peace of mind, I would say, because then they're not necessarily feeling like they're trapped in the situation it is that they're in. Because all it is that you need to do, again, to become a broker is file for a brokerage. You do that with the DBPR, you could become a brokerage basically as soon as that paperwork gets filed. I think there's like a marginal fee, like $50 to $100 you pay to file that application. And yes, there's going to be other costs to starting a brokerage as well. But you have basically at a light switch the ability to become a broker as a broker associate. So hopefully that helps answer the question about the benefits, and is that something I would still recommend to do even if you're not wanting to become a broker, to open your own brokerage. It might be something you might not be ready to do now, but maybe down the road you will want to do that. But in the meantime, yes, it will give you more knowledge, it will give you more clout and more respect. I mean, you're basically certified by the FREC to be more knowledgeable than the average sales associate. Just going by licensing, of course. Now, that's not to say that all brokers are more knowledgeable than sales associates. There's some really knowledgeable sales associates out there. But that being said, there's still information to be learned, and not just about running a brokerage, but about real estate services. Because if you remember what I was talking about earlier, so as a broker, you're able to operate your own brokerage. You're able to do your own services. You don't have to be registered with somebody else and do their services, because that's what a sales associate does. Sales associate just performs the broker services on behalf of the broker, and they're paid very well to do that. It's a very, again, there's options where you basically even get 100% of your commission. There's just some sort of fee that goes to the brokerage. But again, this is something I'd recommend. You do have to have at least 2 years of experience to be eligible, 2 years of being active to be eligible for it, but it's definitely something I'd recommend, again, for the knowledge, for the clout, the respect. Now, Sunset Mike, great question. Can you work for a builder and a broker? And the answer to that is no. So going back to our main differences, and that's a really great question, Mike, so thank you for that one, is a sales associate gets one license. A broker can have multiple broker licenses. So you get one license, you get to register in one place. So asking the question, can you work for a developer and a home builder and a broker at the same time? And the answer is, especially for exam purposes, would be no. But in the real world, you can still sell new construction even if you're not registered with a developer. If you want to keep your options open but still be able to sell new construction, join a broker and then go sell new construction, because the builders, almost every single builder out there, is willing to pay usually a pretty hefty commission to any realtor that's willing to bring a buyer, that's able to bring a buyer. So if you've got a client that's interested in new construction, you just tour the new construction with them, and you're probably going to get a commission. It is a little bit more than you do than that, but that's the time-consuming part, is finding the property. The rest of it is paperwork. It's relatively easy. It can be stressful at times, but that's where your knowledge comes in, to help make this process as simple and easy and stress-free as possible. And when you're proactive, it's very easy to do that. But let's see here. So yeah, you can only have one license. You get to put it in one place. You can't work for a builder and a broker where your license is registered with both. Again, but however, you are able to basically set up as a sales associate at a brokerage who could still sell new construction. So that was the route I would recommend if you want to try to get the best of both worlds. Michelle, your question, what are the extra fees or responsibilities would take as a broker? Do I have to have an office outside my home? So yeah, let's talk about that. To start a brokerage, what those requirements look like. So if you want to start a real estate brokerage, number one, of course, you have to have a broker license. Number two, you're going to need to file an application for the brokerage. So this is another application that you're doing after you get your broker license. Is your personal professional license. That is you as the person are the broker. Your brokerage, and that's why I put the little co there, so brokerage company, you're getting an idea, not you, but the organization, that's a separate license. Now, in order for that brokerage license to be approved, there needs to be a broker who will be the broker of record for that brokerage on that brokerage company application. It's a whole mouthful there. And there are some more details on this as well, depending on whether you're doing just a sole proprietorship or a corporation or something like that. Most people, I would imagine, are going to use some sort of corporation or LLC or something like that. Definitely don't recommend doing this as a sole proprietor. I'm not an accountant. Seek advice from an accountant when it comes to tax stuff. And there's a lot of updates going on with the whole IRS and tax system and everything like that now. So make sure you've got a good accountant on your side to help you navigate all of that, especially when even just as a sales associate, when you're incorporated, there's so many benefits you're able to take advantage of that you're not able to if you don't incorporate yourself. So a lot of advantages there. But yeah, so some of the other things you'll have to do, you do have to have an office. So going back to your question, Michelle, do you have to have an office outside your home? Let's start with yes, you must have an office. And let's just go over what those office requirements are. This isn't going to necessarily encompass all of your costs, but these are the main things that are required that you must have in order for this to be a legal brokerage. So, all brokers must have an office. All brokerages, I should say. That's another mouthful. All brokerages. All brokerages. There we go. All brokerages must have an office.